Stockton, California, at the Jerry McNerney's office. A rally here to curb gun violence. Someone just went and opened up McNerney's office. We'd hoped this, or I'd hoped this rally would be huge. Stockton, along with the rest of the country, has a problem with guns and gun violence. Some people think it's the gun-free zones. Don't know what this is exactly, but I'm gonna. This guy has a little uppity horse, or whatever you call that little horse. One actual news station's here. Again, this is a rally in Stockton, California to curb gun violence. As you can see, no one here has any weapons. No one here has any guns. So we'll keep our eyes out for the people that come here wanting to do bad to these people because they know they don't have guns. Everyone thinks taking away the people's firearms is going to stop gun violence. Congressman Jerry McNerney, 9th Congressional District of California.
It wasn't at DCP, but there was a...
She don't want to be on camera. She got a camera right there, but she don't want to be on camera. On my camera. In gun violence, call Congress. This is not red or blue issue. It is a red, white, and blue one. Yep. Not one more. Dayton, Las Vegas, Santa Barbara, Parkland, Columbine, Cleveland School. That was one of the first. Patrick Purdy. A few blocks from our house. How are you? like that shirt. I like that shirt right there. That's what the auditors and the cop watchers should have. Take action, not sides. Action shows we all act together. It shows unity. I think this is kind of funny. Right next to McNerney's office is this Pacific Judo Club. Yeah, this might get boring. I don't know if anybody's going to want to stay, but there's another one. Congress, do your job. Chuck Derby, peace. Yeah, I agree. I like black powder, cat and ball, firearms. Again, sorry, this might be boring for a few minutes. It's supposed to get good here in a few.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Hello, break. I just heard of this rally to end the gun violence here. Jerry McNerney's office. I figured I'd come over here and see what was up. Excuse me. There's like 45, 2 women behind me, plus myself. So look at this. This lady comes down this little ass road doing like 40 miles an hour. Oh, this one right there. She's like, oh, I'm in a hurry. She's all pissed off. anything there I can't do. Oh, look. Let's go. Our our fine young mayor is here. Michael Tubbs. I don't think I've ever used that word, but smash that like button. Haha. Like and subscribe, guys. I know there's only a handful of you here, but I can't see who's here. I can't see how many likes, but come on. It's a little boring, but I'm out here, right? And I'm showing you the fine people of Stockton, California. These are the ones that don't want guns in the hands of anybody. And I think we should be teaching these little ones background checks now. Looks like the law enforcement community needs that background check now. Couple independent journalists here. Blue Line Nazi Party members. I've seen part of it. I don't know. Yeah. That's our mayor, right there. And right there to his right, I can't remember. I'm not sure who that is, but we the people can stop gun violence. He didn't know what to do with the peace sign, though. Where are you? This dude in the plaid shirt wants to look at me like I'm an idiot. Their shit will not be anything like mine. They'll edit it, they'll get you going, have you wanting to hear something, and they'll go away from it. I don't know what that was, but get a little closer.
It's terrible.
I don't have a loud voice, but I can try. I want to thank you all for coming. Before we get started, I want to ask that you try to avoid the doorways of the neighboring businesses here. Lights will go on through them, as well as there might be somebody coming to the Congressman's office. I want to start by thanking you very, very much for being here, every one of you, on such short notice. This event was put together right away after the shootings that happened this weekend. And because all of you found out about it, learned about it from somebody else, and you spread the word, and it's also telling us this is a really, really important time for people to get together. We are here at Congressman McNerney's office because he has been a supporter, a strong supporter of gun violence prevention for as long as we can remember. He has supported and co-sponsored federal legislation. He was one of the members of Congress who spent the night on the floor of the House of Representatives a few years ago. He did it because we asked him to, but he was there wholeheartedly and with a really important message. You're here because 20 people died, 22 people died in El Paso, 9 people died in Dayton, 3 people died in Gilroy, 11 people this last weekend in Chicago, and 50-some wounded. So if you include the number of people who've been killed by gun violence, and the number of people who've been wounded, it's a huge number, and it calls upon us to do something. You are here because you want to do something, and we're going to help you send that message to Congress. We have here with us several members of several elected members of various office. We have people from Antigua, from Tracy, from Modesto. Before I introduce them, though, I do want to give a call out to Dan Wright is here. He is our vice mayor. Is that right? Vice mayor.
Yep.
We just found out about the event, and he leaves them into the schedule to be here. Mayor Michael Tubbs from Stockton is here. He's going to speak in just a moment.
Thank you.
We have Catherine Squire, who is a student advocate at Delta College, and she's going to be speaking a little later. She's not an elected person, but she's going to be speaking. Thank you all very much for being here, and the congressman is going to be here. It's rearranged the schedule, but if it's okay, I'm going to ask if Mayor Tubbs wouldn't mind coming up and giving a few remarks. You all know our mayor. He's been a mayor for almost 2 years. I said we're here because of gun violence. He's here because of gun violence. He came home because of a very personal story. And when he came home, he hit the ground running and started doing the work of a representative of the people in the city council, a representative of the people as the mayor of our city. And I want to thank you for all the work you're doing to make this a wonderful place to live. And thank you very much for being here.
Well, first, I want to thank you all, particularly the California Brady chapter on the Cleveland School Remembers. I woke up Sunday, Monday, just a little bit tired, and really tired of having the same conversation. I'm tired of waking up and seeing women and children and men slaughtered in our country, but not in war. Slaughtered going to the movie theater, slaughtered going shopping, slaughtered just living life like everyone else, and just realizing it's a nightmare, but it's also reality. It's reality not just in the cities that were suffered violence this past week, but also reality in some neighborhoods here in Stockton, where young people are exposed to gun violence every day. Gun violence is so pervasive and bad, a lot of them have asthma. Gun violence is so pervasive and bad, it's impacting brain development. And we always say we're better than this, and I truly think we are, but as the heroes from Cleveland School Remembers will teach us, it doesn't just happen. So it's been past time for us to have very simple things, like universal background checks. It's been past time for us to have simple things, like make sure we know who has guns. It's way past time that we do all the work necessary to make sure that folks can shop, go to the movies,
Make sure we know who has
go
guns.
to nightclub like Orlando and be themselves without being gunned down and slaughtered in the streets, in the land of the free, in the hope of the brave. So we're lucky that we have a congressman like Jerry McNerney. But we need to talk to folks who don't have guns, like the Senate leader, Mr. McConnell. Let's have conversations with all elected officials, whether they're Democrat or Republican, because it's not a party issue. It's simply about humanity. We travel throughout the rest of this world, even in like war zones, they don't have stuff happen there. If you travel to any place on any continent, people are able to eat, go to the movies, go to concerts, and not be afraid. Kids are able to go to school and not have to have drills about how to handle gas or what to do when the government comes to your classroom. It's abhorrent, it's unacceptable, and it has to stop. But only stops with the work that we do. So again, thank you all for not being tired. Thank you all for each and every day, each and every time there's an incident, no matter where it is. Our folks are cool school members are at the mall, Pacific Avenue, blowing shirts, making signs. They're calling people, but they can't do it by themselves. So I know, especially after this weekend, I'm going to recommit myself even more to speaking about the need to stop gun violence as it is preventable. The need to talk about gun violence as a sickness because it is. So it's a public health issue. And also the need to understand that mental health is not the reason why for these mass slaughters in our countries. The reason why we have mass slaughters for your leadership and anything we can do to help you convince your colleagues and they wear different colors on Sunday, that we all need to come together and do our job to make sure that kids can go to school and feel safe, people go shopping and feel safe. And then I would be remiss if I didn't say, especially authority, because certain groups of people were targeted. Like we were really, some type of race group, some type of thing. Again, we're not going back into heaven. We're not going back to the time that was. We're going to continue to move forward. That will only happen with each and every one of us.
Hit that like button, guys.
So again, it's good to see everyone. I'm sorry under such horrible conditions. But I also think that in Stockton we have a chance to kind of prove to this nation what holistic democracy looks like. Looking around, you have people from all different ages and different races here. You have someone who lost a cousin to gun violence, as someone who has spoken at so many funerals in our 4 years there, of young people I used to teach or young people I used to mentor. I know I'm tired, but I'm also excited, exhausted of what makes this country special. Hey, even when we get it wrong, we find a way to get it right. It takes struggle, it takes fight, something that takes so much long, but we always find a way to become a better version of ourselves and more for community. So again, thank you all. I'm excited to be a partner in this work, and let us never, ever, ever forget how disgusted we feel today. Let's never forget how upset and sad we feel today. And know we will feel this way tomorrow if we don't do the work necessary to make sure this never happens again.
Yeah, guys. We the people.
We do have work to do. The work is being done. I would like to welcome Congressman McNerney. I know that you rearranged your schedule to be here December. And I think that your staff also told you that we are here because of the work that you've done in the past. We're here because the Congressman from the very beginning has been a supporter and a co-sponsor of some very important legislation. Where is it now? The Congressman is going to tell you where it is, but we couldn't have gotten this far without you and the other members of the House of Representatives who are right pushing and vote for the bill that needs to be passed. And now we're going to do this task too. We put a little pressure on those members in the House of Representatives to give us support the bill and get the Senate going. The Congressman has been a wonderful representative of the people here since
Yeah, I do.
7. And we're really glad that he represents us. We really thank him here.
My dad used to be friends or know this guy years
I
ago.
want to thank the Cleveland School members and the great campaign for organizing today. This is extremely important. I want to thank Mayor Tubbs for his leadership. No one's fighting hard to reduce crime and gun violence in Stockton, California than Michael Tubbs. So thank you for crime and gun violence in Stockton, California than Michael Tubbs. So thank you for speaking today and coming out here to do this. So are you ready for Congress to do something?
Yes.
I mean, we've done something in the House, right? We passed H.R. 8, we passed H.R. 1112, the universal background checks, closing the Charleston loophole.
Yep, agreed.
We've had demonstrations on the House floor. We've sat our rear ends down on the House floor and stopped business for 2 days. And yet, the Republican majority will not let us move forward. Now, since we have the majority, we were able to pass HR 8 and HR 1112, but now it's stuck in the United States Senate because the Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, will not, Moscow Mitch, will not.
Moscow
We have good
Mitch.
legislation, we have good people. We had a bipartisan majority passing HR 8 and HR 1112, and yet it's stuck in the United States Senate. So we
Yes,
have the
sir,
means,
Ben.
we have the power. Now we just have to get the Senate to move forward. And how are we gonna do that? We're gonna do that by asking folks like you here to go to their United States senators and make them pressure Mitch McConnell and the Republican senators to demand that we have action on gun violence. Now, Stockton, California knows the pain and anguish of gun violence as well as any city in this country.
Yes.
Starting with the grade school shooting back in 1989. One of the first in the country. This community feels it, but not only in grade school shooting, but day after day, gun violence on the streets of Stockton, California are not acceptable to this community. We have to find the means to stop this. So how do we do that? We do that by passing background checks, by taking away large magazines that have multiple rounds. We do this by sensible gun control legislation. And we've done that. And we demand that the Senate move forward. And you know, this is a movement that's rising across the country. We demand change in this country. We demand it today.
Yes.
And you want it right now. And if you're angry, channel that anger into organizing. Organize people in this community. Organize people across the country. We have the opportunity right now in this incredible set of tragedies to make things happen. And I see you people around here, I see that you are determined and that you have the passion and that you have the will to move forward on this issue, not just in Stockton, California, not just in Congressional District 9, not just in California, but across the country. And we have to put a stop to white nationalism that's coming from the highest offices of this country. Stop white nationalism. So I don't want to be a partisan here. There's one political party that wants to move forward, and there's one political party that is preventing us from moving forward. And not only are they preventing us from moving forward, but they are tolerating white nationalism at the highest levels of this country.
Like, share,
that has
come
to
on,
stop.
guys.
And so I can count on your passion, on your organization, to make sure that those people don't have a voice in the future of this country. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
And I really appreciate your hard work. Really do.
Thank you. Brady shirt, even if you're Brady and you're not Brady, you just come up and
Yep.
we have here. You've been told by the congressman what you can do to help, and I'm seeing a lot of signs. There's one back there that says, call Mitch McConnell. Don't expect to get to his office because the voicemail is full, but look for signs that look like this, that give you a phone number. HR 8 is the background check bill that we want passed. It's a clean background check bill. If the Senate takes a bill, it needs to be just a clean bill that says background
I
checks
missed
for
it,
all
Ben.
firearm purchases. We don't want to see if we can buy any lobbyists or anything. The other bill that's already been passed, 1112, extends the waiting period for background checks to 10 days. What happened in Charleston was that the purchaser of that weapon had a background check initiated, but it wasn't done in the 3 days allotted time. We need a 10-day waiting period for all firearms purchases. We also are advocating a ban on assault
Exactly,
weapons, high-capacity
Ben.
magazines, and things like that. If you sign on our sign-in sheet, we'll make sure that you get some information about what you can do. I want to talk to you about the way the rest of this event is going to happen. We would like to launch it. We would like you to join us, but we have some other people who have some important things to say that are going to help you to understand why it is that we're here, why it is that we're glad that you're here. So the first person I'm going to call on is Nikki Smith, who is co-leader of Cleveland School Members, a chapter of the National Brady United to Prevent Gun Violence. This is our message.
Excuse me.
You missed it, and Nikki would like to say a few words, so thank you very much, Nikki.
Take action, not sides.
Thank you all for being here today. It's so important to show your support. And thank you, Mayor Tubbs and Congressman McNerney. Your words are powerful and really appreciate it. So Cleveland School Remembers was founded by a group of retired teachers that survived the Cleveland School Massacre in 1989. They came together in 2012 after the Sandy Hook Massacre that killed, slaughtered 20 innocent children and 6 teachers. It was a horrible, tragic incident. It really struck home with these teachers. It brought them together because they wanted to make change. Because they could not
She's a
believe
Tubbs worker. She's an ass.
that it happened.
She gets right in front of people.
And it keeps happening. In 2017, we joined Brady so that we would have more support for our efforts and to support them with their legislation efforts. We've been working in California very hard. In California, we have some of the strongest gun laws in the country. And we have Congressman McNerney in office who supports our efforts, and we really appreciate it. But the nation needs to follow our lead. Because as we saw this weekend, the nation needs stronger gun laws. It is a tragedy that this has occurred so many times since 2017. We all know the huge incidents that have occurred. Orlando, Las Vegas, San Bernardino, Parkland, so many. They're countless. And 100 people die every day due to gun violence in our country. 100 people every day. That's unimaginable in any other country. They must think we're nuts to let this continue.
That's because the people weren't able to protect themselves.
And do you know that 90% of Americans believe in universal background checks? 67% of Americans support a ban
Bingo.
on assault weapons. But the Congress has not moved on that. Our representatives have not moved on that. So when you think about that, who are they representing? They are not representing the American people.
Like and share, guys. Come on.
They need to act, and they need to act now. Thank you.
I can't whistle and I can't clap for that.
Thank you, Nikki. Now I would like to ask Catherine Squire to come up and make a few remarks. We invited her to speak because she is a student advocate at San Joaquin Delta College, but she has a personal story that's motivating her to be a gun violence prevention activist. And she has a special concern and a message for young people, because we remember what happened after Parkland.
This will be
Those
interesting.
students from that school went out and started advocating and yelling and carrying signs and meeting with people right away. And it's like they kind of broke open the dam of support. And so we can do some work, but we're certainly going to need to partner with young people as we put out the message of gun violence prevention. So thank you very much, Captain, for being here.
Captain.
Firstly, I want to thank Cleveland Remembers for inviting me as a speaker. I am a current student at San Joaquin Delta College. I'm also a student advocate for the Student Senate for California Community Colleges, and most of my work, one of the priorities of my work is creating safe places for our students across the state of California to be able to attend school in a safe environment. And personally, I wish I could say that I knew a world without gun violence, but the reality is that this is the only world I've ever known with gun violence. Growing up in a very impoverished area of Stockton, of South Stockton, I grew up to the sounds of gunshots every day, ringing off in the distance. I was about 13 growing up through watching Sandy Hook happen. A few months after that, I was actually personally involved in the gun violence incident. My family's car was targeted. My 6 and 3-year-old brothers were in the car at the time, as well as my mother. And I still remember the vision of a bullet shattering the passenger window on the side of my car where I was sitting. So I can speak from experience when I say that this is the only world I've ever known. And I watched the survivor, Emma Gonzalez, give her speech at the March for Our Lives. And through it all, I have also watched our nation's leaders ignore our voices and not listen. I can't help but think of the increasingly encouraged. Also Texas by a teenage, 19 years old. I can't help but think that there has to be something wrong that we're doing as a society. For me to have developed this fear against the peers that I go to school with, against the people I no longer trust shopping in the grocery store next to, against the person sitting next to me in the church. And there has to be something wrong for me to feel such a loss of faith in our institutions. Every time I listen to the media and yet another tragedy to add to the list of human lives that have just become statistics. I dream of a world in which my condolences can have sense of meaning and significance to the families of the victims. But I feel useless in continuing to say my prayers. The reality is that my words haven't been listened to, because I don't think that words mean anything, especially from our nation's leaders, if action doesn't follow. And it shouldn't be this hard for our country to see that something has to change. The reality is that people are dying, and nothing has changed. The reality is that people are dying, and nothing has changed. I'm continually grieving over the loss of human life, feeling as if our future youth are the only hope we have for combating this hate culture. Feeling as though change is decades away because the leaders of this nation are more concerned with sowing the seeds of a hate culture into the fabric of American society than creating a culture of inclusivity. A truth I can admit, although I'm not proud to say this, is that as an American citizen, I have never felt less American than I have in the past 2 years. It is the cultivation of a hate culture that has sparked such tragedies. The rhetoric that has become increasingly acceptable, the justification of the First Amendment, paving the way for division and distrust between our institution and amongst each other. Guns existing as a platform for the hate, and only further enabling mass shooters to spread it. The reality is that every person here today is the potential victim of the next mass shooting. But we've said that enough is enough. So what do we do when we've run out of options? We reiterate that not that immigration is the problem, not that mental health is the problem, not that we need to put bans on foreign immigrants, but that we do not condone hate as a nation. We write letters to our representatives to pressure our leaders. We become civically engaged and amplify our voices. We educate ourselves and teach acceptance. And we join forces. We raise our voices in solidarity because there is strength to cultivate out of our fear. There is resilience to be cultivated out of the grief that has brought us here together today. This is where the roots of hope begin to stem where once lied hate.
Peace, Joe.
We raise our voices to raise and empower one another. And we do this to reestablish the respect we have to everyone's right to life. Not just respect of one race, one religion, or one ethnicity. Let us close the doors that have long paved the tolerance of hate culture by reforming gun laws. And most importantly, let us remember the core values that lie at the heart of being an American, and that are truly patriotic in nature. Because it is not hate, it is equality, inclusivity, unity, acceptance, and the universal respect and commitment to preserving the human race we all belong to. This is how to disarm a culture of hate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Catherine. So now we know what direction this is going, into the hands of the
dropped
young
it.
people as we work alongside them to make sure that we combat gun violence by contacting our Congress and making sure that they pass the laws that are necessary to keep our communities safe. We know that the one difference between us and other developed nations who don't have this kind of a gun problem, who do have issues with violence in their society. They have kids playing video games. They deal with all kinds of the same issues we do. What's the difference? We have the guns here, and we need to do something about it. So thank you very much to Catherine. In just a few minutes, I'm going to ask you to join us as we take our message onto March Lane. But first, I'm going to ask Judy Weldon, who is our good friend and member of Cleveland School of Members Grady, to say a few remarks to close things up, and then we'll ask you, Brian, to say.
I'll cut this as they march.
Catherine, that was exquisite, and I certainly am embarrassed to follow you. But you said, you wrapped it up beautifully. Everything that you said is on point and important. Thank you very much for that. I was an elementary school second grade teacher, and in elementary school, we don't have a specific curriculum that teaches manners and etiquette and how to be kind to each other. But most elementary school teachers know how to weave those. A phrase that I often used when we were teaching about manners and how to be kind to each other and give each other some love was when something bad happened or someone had misbehaved, the first thing that I would say is, that behavior really hurts my heart. And I said it many, many times in order to get that point across, that empathy is important, whether you're born with it or not. And we know now that some people are not. You have to learn those behaviors. A few parents actually came to me and said, do you use this phrase, that hurts my heart? And of course I did. And I think it's something that we need to cultivate to each other and to the general population, because what we're seeing in Washington now hurts our hearts to the core, and it encourages, as we've heard from every other speaker, that it encourages, the rhetoric encourages bad behavior, and it actually opens the door and allows bad behavior. And when we hear our leader, our main leader, say things like, again, it's not the gun, we know that he is not going to move in towards common sense gun legislation. So if we keep that in mind, that it hurts our heart, and think of all the victims and all the survivors and their families and their communities as the violence ebbs out and touches every single one of us, if not directly personally, it touches us as a community, So let's think about empathy. We're past now the numbness, and now we're angry. And I used to use the words, let's urge our congressmen to adopt gun sense legislation. Let's encourage our senators to adopt gun sense legislation. I'm finished with those urging and encouraging
What will
words.
the sign say, Benny?
Let's demand that our congresspeople use Apparently, the soft, tactful words are not enough. We need to now demand it, and we need to demand it now. Now is the time. So as we march today, it's a short march. We're going to be honoring the victims who died in all gun violence, not just mass gun events. We're honoring their families and the communities that they come from. We are renewing our promise to ourselves and to our community to take action today. Let's not have this march and this rally be the end of our action. Let's have this be the seed that pushes us forward so that we can grow this group larger and make a stronger voice in Washington. Let's demand that our representatives act today, come back from vacation and act today. I was asked to wrap this up, and in so doing, I want us each to wrap our arms around each other, because that will give us strength. That will move us forward as we all deal with what we need, and what we look for is hope.
We the people.
I spoke with Carrie for a moment last night, and it's hope that I am trying to find. And I think if we wrap ourselves together and then walk, we can find that hope and move forward with our action. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Judy, and thank you to all of you. I have asked our Vice Mayor, Dan Wright, to just say a few words to get us on our way for our march. Just follow the people in the purple shirts and the signs and bring along a sign if you have it, Vice Mayor.
Like Dan Wright.
Absolutely. When I woke up Sunday morning, to hear that the Dayton shootings had occurred, my heart sank, just like most of yours did. I remembered the Gilroy shooting the week before, and that hit me even harder because my daughter was there at the festival the day before, and it was just a matter of luck that she wasn't caught up in that. It's incredibly frustrating. I thought after Sandy Hook and Parkland, that those would have been enough, that our children are dying, that would have been enough to motivate our Senate now, because our House of Representatives has figured it out, would have been enough to motivate our Senate to take action. But now I know that won't happen. It won't happen, folks. Understand that. With the current people we have in office right now, that's not going to change. Nothing could happen that would make that change. Princeton professor Eddie Glaude has spoken a couple times over the last couple days, and I think he's really nailed it. He goes, this is us. This is who we are as a country. We have allowed this to happen. Now, you're all fellow travelers, right? We're all here. We all believe in the cause already. But there are plenty of people out there who remain quiet. And that's not okay anymore. We have to mobilize. And that means each of us talking with everyone we know. I mean, there are people on the Republican side who have given up. David Jolly, former Republican congressman from Florida, he says it very clear. The only way this changes is if we vote enough Republicans out of office to take over the Senate and to elect a Democratic president. It's the only way that happens. And even when we had a Democratic majority from 2008 to 2010, we didn't act on it. So that's why it's imperative that every single person here reaches out to every single person they know and encourage them to encourage every person they know to take action on this. Is this what Judy spoke about the statistics? It's very clear. I think it's up to 96% support background checks now. We have a difficulty with that assault weapon thing. I don't know why people feel the need to protect it. They have no useful purpose. No useful purpose. But the only way it happens, if we stand up and say, this is not who we are, and we will demand, I like your word, we will demand change. And so with that,
Thank you very much. I want to encourage all of you to walk with us. It's going to be a brief march, but we want to take the message from here, at least onto the street.
Not
The
prisons.
phone numbers hold them up. I'm going to ask my previous school remembrance people to start us off. The plan is to walk down here, turn right on Tennessee, whatever it is, to go to the stoplight, cross March Lane, and then walk west for a little ways, maybe a block or so, and then come back, because I know your cars are due. So please do join us for the march. This is an important part.
All right, guys, Stockton, California. Little rally to end gun violence. I don't see anybody here that has the ability to protect themselves. Nobody. Well, I see some water bottles and some coffee. But if somebody was to walk up with a gun right now, we would all be in trouble. There's not anybody here with a weapon or anything to stop what they're saying to stop. This is kind of funny. Here's 40. Yeah, they need something squirted in their eyes. I'm glad to see that somebody brought their young one out here, try to get the word to the young. Look at her.
I know.
Nice little car.
We hang out with Alma.
This one, she don't know how to park for nothing. She's like, oh.
Hey.
Yeah. No, I was here when Patrick Purdy shot up the school here in Stockton years ago. And yeah, I think this was a waste of time. They made the mayor come back to town who don't even hang out here. He's always gone. So there they go. And here they come. So I should have wore the sheep costume. Yeah, I should have wore the sheep costume. All right, guys. I don't think I'm gonna do the march. I just wanted to hear what they had to say. In gun violence, if everybody showed up with guns, and they could end it, keep the bad guys away, or at least protect themselves. But no, not here. California, they take your rights away.
He said, but before you went down.
Wanted to know what her shirt said. Thanks for everybody that came into this little live stream. Got a few likes, thumbs up, whatever. I figured Stockton PD would be here. Nah, they don't care. They say end gun violence. What will we do if Stockton ends gun violence? What will we do? All right, guys, peace out. Thanks.